Welcome. Let's start with a simple question. How do you think about the future? Whether you're planning your weekend or imagining your dream job, your brain is constantly projecting ahead. Futures thinking taps into this natural ability, but with more structure, strategy, and awareness. In this presentation, we'll explore how our minds shape our view of the future and how understanding our cognitive habits can help us make better choices today and tomorrow. Our brains are future-oriented machines. From a young age, we imagine what could be, whether it's tomorrow's weather or a life decades from now. But futures thinking isn't just about predicting what's next. It's about expanding our imagination, challenging our assumptions, and preparing for many possible tomorrows. By understanding the cognitive foundations of this process, we can learn to think more clearly, creatively, and strategically about the future. When we imagine the future, several cognitive processes come into play. Imagination gives us the ability to dream up things we've never experienced by remixing memories and ideas in new ways. Perception filters the world around us. What we notice often shapes the futures we believe are possible. And intuition, shaped by experience, helps us quickly judge what might or might not work. Together, these tools are like lenses we use to scan the future. Now, let's go deeper. Metacognition means thinking about our thinking. Futures thinking requires us to become strategic about how we imagine. We evaluate consequences. What might happen if we act or don't? We challenge assumptions, things we might not even realize we're taking for granted. And we practice building alternative pathways, multiple futures, not just one. This is where imagination becomes a powerful tool for strategy, not just daydreaming. One of the most effective ways to sharpen our foresight is to set clear goals. Goals help us focus. They activate brain systems tied to planning, and they motivate us, creating a bridge between the present and the future we want. Without goals, the future stays vague. With goals, it becomes something we can shape. But our brains aren't perfect. We have built-in biases that can trip us up. Optimism bias makes us downplay risks. Availability bias focuses us on what's easy to recall, often the loudest or most recent information. Present bias overvalues short-term rewards, making it hard to plan long-term. And status quo bias keeps us clinging to what's familiar, even when change is needed. Recognizing these is the first step to overcoming them. To push past our biases, we need a toolkit of strategies. First, we must notice our biases when they show up. Then, we bring in diverse perspectives, people who see the world differently. We use structured techniques like scenario planning to explore alternatives. And we reflect on how we think, not just what we think. Futures thinking is like working out. It gets easier and stronger with practice. When we think about the future, we face different types of uncertainty. Known unknowns, like a storm forecast. We know it's coming, but not how strong. Unknown unknowns, surprises we couldn't see coming. Ambiguity, the same data can mean different things. Complexity, many moving parts that interact unpredictably. Foresight doesn't remove uncertainty, but it helps us prepare for it more intelligently. So how do we actually make better decisions using futures thinking? First, we map out multiple futures. Then we explore what each future would mean for us, our communities, or our businesses. Next, we develop robust strategies, plans that hold up across different possibilities. And finally, we watch for signposts, early signals that show us which future might be emerging. Not everyone sees the future the same way. The optimist sees opportunity, but may overlook risks. The pessimist sees threats, but may miss upside potential. The realist blends both, staying flexible and responsive. None of these is wrong, but self-awareness helps us balance our view and work more effectively with others. Culture plays a huge role in how we think about time and change. Long-term cultures plan for decades. Others focus on now. Some cultures avoid uncertainty. Others embrace it. Narrative traditions, like whether we see life as progress, cycles, or decline, influence our expectations. Understanding these differences helps us think more globally and more empathetically. So, how do we build our future's mindset? Start with cognitive flexibility. Learn to hold multiple ideas at once. Stay curious. Ask questions no one else is asking. Commit to continuous learning. Update your thinking as the world changes. Practice adaptability, a key survival skill in fast-moving times. Futures thinkers use powerful tools. Horizon scanning spots early signals of change. Scenario planning explores what might happen. Backcasting works backward from your ideal future. And wildcards or black swans prepare us for shocks. These aren't just academic tools. They're practical and empowering. Here's a helpful acronym to remember what futures thinking involves. Future. Flexibility. Think in new ways. Understanding. Learn systems deeply. Thinking. Be both critical and creative. Unlearning. Let go of old habits. Resilience. Bounce back from surprises. Emergence. Watch patterns evolve. Futures thinking is as much about mindset as it is about method. UNESCO now considers futures literacy a core skill for 21st century life. It's the ability to use the future to make better decisions in the present. Futures literacy helps us not just imagine what might happen, but ask why and how we imagine it. It's about being intentional, thoughtful, and empowered in our approach to uncertainty. When we bring futures thinking into the classroom, something amazing happens. Students become more engaged because they see real-world relevance. They generate more creative solutions. And teachers love it too, reporting higher satisfaction and outcomes. Futures literacy helps education prepare students not just for jobs, but for change itself. With strong future skills, we gain better decision-making with an eye on long-term impacts, greater resilience to shocks and surprises, increased innovation because we question limits and imagine new paths, and more personal agency. We don't just wait for the future, we help create it. With strong future skills, we gain better decision-making with an eye on long-term impacts, greater resilience to shocks and surprises, increased innovation because we question limits and imagine new paths, and more personal agency. We don't just wait for the future, we help create it. What's next for futures thinking itself? AI-powered foresight is using data to build scenarios at scale. Immersive futures with VR and AR let us experience tomorrow today. Participatory foresight opens the doors. So many voices shape the future, not just a few experts. The future of foresight is more inclusive, creative, and tech-enhanced than ever. So, how do we get started? First, build awareness of how your mind thinks about the future. Then, grow your toolkit. Learn frameworks and practice often. Make it a habit to think ahead. And share the mindset with others, because futures thinking is more powerful when it's shared.